Giving God His Due by Apostle Dr. Isaac Owusu Bempah.
All men will say, prophet, be quiet. They love you. They don't want you to fall into trouble. Because if you go out and say what you are about to say, chances are you are inviting trouble to yourself. And once you are in trouble, your loved ones are going to feel hurt. They are going to feel worried. But God is saying, prophet, open your mouth and speak. Do not be quiet. So who should I listen to? Should I listen to the voice of man who is asking me not to speak, or I should listen to the voice of God who is instructing me to go out and speak? Am I not rather supposed to listen to the God who has my life and controls it? Now, what I'm saying, a carnally minded person will not understand what I'm saying. And you will not understand it because you are not operating under a prophetic anointing, or you are not in a prophetic office. But every prophet, every true prophet, when he hears what I am saying, will know that what I'm saying could not be truer than what I have said.
Jezebel, Empress Elia, ever been on one cancer.
Now, Jezebel did not want Elijah to open his mouth and make declarations.
Because
the prophetic declarations of Elijah were not in favor of Jezebel and her husband Ahab. But God said, Elijah, go out and speak. Now Elijah was scared, but God had instructed him to go out and proclaim his word.
Not Jezebel, first lady,
and anytime Elijah came out to speak the mind of God, Jezebel would send soldiers to arrest Elijah. And when they get Elijah, they must cut off his head. And sometimes Elijah had to run into the wilderness because he was afraid. He was afraid, yet he spoke the mind of God because he was not of himself. Now, this is characteristic of the prophetic ministry. And so if you do not understand the elements or the nature of the prophetic ministry, you must exercise patience and restraints on yourself, because what I'm saying is an absolute truth. Now, of a truth, not all things that a prophet will say will be in your favor, or in favor of your family, or in favor of your nation, or the leaders in the nation.
In fact, there are
groups. So a prophet may come in accordance with the instruction of God, and he will say something which will be in favor of one group, and that same word will not favor another group. However, what the prophet said was not something he created by himself to say, but it was God that gave him the word which he spoke. So you must know and understand that the people who to whom this prophecy was favorable, they would celebrate the prophet, they would be happy with the prophet.
But ombetimi atan odifo.
Now the other group who did not find favor with this prophetic word would have hatred for the prophet.
Sentina make us a difo yemfa wo mu nhye yibotom enka say ye prophet.
That is
why
that is why I have already said that you cannot make a prophet your property. The prophet is not a puppet. So on one day you may see the prophet standing in one angle. Another moment you see him standing at another angle. It is not because that is how he wants things to be, but it is because that is what God is instructing him to do. So if a prophet says something which is the mind of God, and he favors one person against the other, or favors one group against the other, that other group who did not find favor with the prophecy must not get angry at the prophet, because tomorrow you do not know what God will say to the prophet about you. So I am telling you about the function of prophets or the prophetic ministry.